When launching OPL Studio, you will be met with a prompt. It'll ask you for the location of the workspace. A workspace is the place where your model projects will be stored. You can have multiple of these on your computer, but initially we recommend that you just start with the one. Having launched OPL Studio, you may be met with the Welcome tab. If this is the case, you can safely close it. You should now have a view like the one shown here. Some variations might exist, and you can later introduce others should you so desire. If you ever introduce a change in the interface that you do not wish to preserve, you can go into Window and reset perspective. If you confirm this option, you'll return to the initial configuration of the interface. You are now ready for the initial tour of OPL Studio. The tour will not be comprehensive, but should give you an idea about how to start making projects and being productive in the courses you're attending. The interface can be divided into 6 different areas. You'll find the menu, like in any other program. You'll find an overview of the projects that are in your workspace. You'll find some information on the model you're currently solving. And at the bottom, you'll find some information about the solution progress. On the right, you'll find an outline of your model. And in the center, you'll find the model itself when we create one. To explore the interface fully, we are going to need a model, and for that, we are going to need a project. A project is created by selecting the menu. As shown, you create a new OPL project. Do not just create a project. Be sure to choose the OPL project. The first thing you'll have to do is specify a name. I'm just going to call this test project. You can add a description if you want. Anything you add to the project will be placed in this location on your computer. As you can see from the project overview, we now have a project named test project. Now we will need to add a model. To do this, right-click on the project, choose New, and choose Model. Now we need a name for the model. I'll just call it Test, and we press Finish. We now have a test.mod, and the file has automatically been opened for us. I will now paste a model into the model file. Next, we will want to save the model. You can see by the star up here that the model has not been saved yet. You can either use File, Save, or Ctrl S, as with any other program. You do not yet have to understand the content of the model, but it'll help us with the demonstration. Solving the model is, in OPL Studio, referred to as running the model. To do this, we will need a run configuration. You create a run configuration by right-clicking Run Configurations, New, Run Configuration, and you can give it any name you desire. I will call this First Run, and Finish. To run the model, we're going to have to add the model to the run configuration. This can be done via drag and drop. When you do this, you'll have to confirm it. At a later stage, you might also have to add a data file to the run configuration. We are now ready to start solving the model. In OPL, solving a model is referred to as running the model. So select the run configuration, right-click it, choose Run This. When you did this, you started the solving process in the background. You can follow the progress down in the lower right corner. The solution you have just found can now be inspected in the lower left corner. Here you can see the decision variables has been set to 15, 11 and 9 respectively. You may also note that the solution has an objective of 252,100. As previously mentioned, information regarding the solution process can be found in the lower area of the screen. In the lower right corner, you can see that the solution took 12 seconds to find. In the Engine Log tab, you can find the output of the Cplex solver that OPL Studio utilizes to find solution to the models. The tabs, conflicts, and relaxations contain information about the conflicts the solver has detected and the relaxations the solver has had to make to actually make your model solvable. If any of these tabs contain anything, you're probably not solving the model you think you're solving. It is therefore important to always check the content of these tabs. The next tab is called Solutions. In here you can find information about your solution in pure text format. The next tab again is the scripting log, and here you will find the output of any script you have made. The final tab to discuss is the Problems tab. As you can see now, the tab is empty, and that's because there are no problems with the model. If at some point you introduce syntactical errors into the model, that is, for instance, forget a semicolon, you can see that there now is an error in the tab. Each error you can read about by expanding it, and you can get to it by double-clicking it. Here you can see that there's something wrong around the line minimize. If you mouse over here, you get the actual error message. And as you can see, it has rightfully detected that we lack the semicolon. By reinserting the semicolon, the error should disappear. If at some point you become too impatient and do not want to wait for the program to finish solving your model, you can press this button to abort the current solution process. One last piece of valuable information is that if you manually copy a file into your project, it'll not show up in the interface automatically. To make it show up, you have to right-click the project and press refresh. If you're given an entire project to solve, you can import it by choosing File, Import, Existing OPL Projects. Here you'll have to browse for the project, and I advise you to tick off this, which will copy the project into your current workspace. I hope at this point you feel confident enough to go explore the rest of the interface on your own.